Morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Casey, where we talk about market strategies, market conditions, what's going on. And we've just finished with a big election, so let's get right to that. How is the election going to affect the real estate market? So here's some thoughts. In 2016, everybody was in dispute over whether the Russian had taken advantage and blah, blah, blah. And there was a dispute, and it was a nightmare. 2020, everybody said that it was rigged and that machines were changed, and everybody was unhappy. Well, right now it's 2024. There was no dispute over what happens, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't matter. There is no dispute. It's too big to rig. The voices have spoken. People on the left and the right some are starting to say the same things. We're starting to see some positive effects of maybe that the consumer confidence that was in the tank. Here's my opinion. The pollsters are horrible, just horrible. Couldn't predict anything. So why listen to them? But I do know the one thing that they said was 70% of the people were unhappy with the economy. I think it could have been 90% were unhappy with the economy. Let's call it 70. Okay. That means consumer confidence is down. People freeze on bad consumer confidence. And when I chart it, sales follow consumer confidence. So if consumer confidence was in the tank, your sales were in the tank. Now, once there's been a resolution, one way or another, and consumer confidence goes back up, which I strongly believe it is, now you're going to start to see more people planning, selling, buying, moving up, moving down. And anytime money is in movement, money's in motion, that's good for the economy, right? It creates a lot of jobs when people are moving, all right? When money is in motion, that's good for the economy. Look for an improvement right away. I've always said that if you want to know how the economy is going to go, look at the oil fields, right? If we're producing a lot of oil and gas, then prices will come down. When prices come down, fuel prices affect everything. Home heating, the food you eat on your table has to get there via truck and planes and all of that. So the fuel costs are a big factor in the cost of your food, in the cost of what you pay to heat your home every year, to drive your car. So when fuel prices come down, I think the economy does better. Interest rates come down, inflation comes down, and that's really good for getting this economy rolling again. I truly believe that probably within, let's call it 2 or 3 months, you may see gas prices in the twos again. And if I'm wrong, it might happen sooner. All right. So let's look for in the future the fuel prices to come down. Not a commentary on political, it's just a fact. When fuel prices come down, the economy benefits. Inflation comes down, interest rates come down, confidence goes up, and money is in motion again. People are moving, buying, and selling. So I think that, as far as the economy is concerned, as far as the business is concerned, as far as real estate is concerned, I think this is a positive step forward for the business. Now, here is one thing you need to consider with this election. The guy sitting to his right is a guy named Elon Musk. Elon Musk went into Twitter and bought Twitter and immediately fired 80% of the workforce. 80%. He is an efficiency guy. He is about cutting out fat. He is about getting down to the bare bones. That's who's sitting on his right side. His left side is JFK, who is talking about removing entire sections of the FDA and some government agencies. So just so that we're all clear on this, I think that in the future, you're going to start hearing about huge cutbacks in government workforces. So take them off the public workforce and put them into the private workforce. I think you're going to be a shift from one to the other. At first, there will be panic because we do have a lot of people in the government sector here in our area. However, after that shock, the public employees will move into the private sector, and I truly believe that the private sector will benefit. The jobs will be worth more money at that point. I see higher incomes when all is said and done, when the smoke clears. I see it may affect the deficit. It may bring our spending down. It may bring our deficit down. And I think that's going to be good for everybody. So consumer confidence up, great for the economy. Things are going to start moving in, great for the economy. Fuel prices down, interest rates down, inflation down. I think that's all good for the economy. So let's say that's good. You're going to initially hear job cutbacks in this area from federal employees, but not to worry. I think it'll move from federal employees to private employees, and they will make more money, and all will be better for it. Lower deficits are good for the country. So as far as the election is concerned, again, I'm not caring whether it's a Republican, or I'm not going to talk about the Democrat-Republican thing. I'm going to talk about from a business standpoint. I think this is a mandate where the people have spoken, and even the people on the right and the left are starting to hear, working class people and what they think. That was quite a big event. So I think everything's going to settle down a little bit. I think that's good for all of us, right? We all won't be so anxious all the time. And let's see how it turns out. I think it's a positive for the economy, okay, for what's going on in here. So let's talk about other things. This is the winter of the move up. I've said it's the winter of move up. This is when people should be moving up. Sell your smaller home, move into a bigger home, possibly a new home, right? So here's the thing. Here's the key. We took somebody, said, that's a great message. I think I'll do that. We went out and we contracted on a new home. We got it $130,000 under list price. I'll talk about that in a minute. $130,000 under list price. We sold their home for $50,000 over list price. So we really got $180,000 benefit from moving up. But the true benefit was the seller, and we run into a lot of them in the last 4 or 5 years, have never been able to contract to purchase a home contingent on the sale of their home. We haven't been able to do that because there's been so many people, so much demand going after the product that they've been unable to compete. Not anymore. Not anymore. And here's a couple evidence. Here's some evidence of why that's true. Only 20% of the homes that are currently listed are going under contract in the first week. 20%. In May, that number was 75%. So what does that mean? The home sits on the market a little longer. They're more apt to accept contracts that are contingent on the sale of another home. See, this is advantage buyer. It's advantage move up buyer. So now is the time to do that. Let me throw a bigger number at you. Are you ready for this? I want to sit down for this one. 62% of all the new homes, 62% of new homes withdrew in 2024. 38% sold, 62% withdrew, unsold. Now, they had to come back on the market, which they did, and a lot of them are sitting. But here's the thing. There are deals to be had in the new homes market. There are deals to be had. And to be honest with you, I'm going to share with you an experience I had this weekend. Builder went in a nice house, it's taken off the market, withdrew. I called him up. I said, let's talk. Let me see what happened to this. Let me see exactly what happened. I said, how did you arrive at your price to the builder? Beautiful home. Oh my God. 8-foot high windows, beautiful. It's a great lot, great neighborhood, really top flight builder, custom builder. What happened? He said, well, the realtor told me, the realtor said, what do you think it should sell for? And he goes, I just thought it would sell for 2.9 million, right? Thought that's what it was worth. Based on what I had in it and what the profits and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, what did the realtor say? And the realtor said, well, let's try 285. I said, well, how did they justify the number? Well, they thought they were just going to go 50,000 under my number. Let me be very clear on this. Let me be extremely clear. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard a realtor say. And guess what? I just heard it again. So let me be very, very clear on this. A builder/seller have things they may want or need that has nothing to do with what a home is worth. Nothing to do with it. It is the job of the realtor, of the professional realtor, to price the house correctly. What is the buyer willing to pay for the house? And what is the pricing threshold you need to get to in order to make that price happen? The home needs to be sold. New home resale doesn't matter. Must be sold in the first week because that's when the bidding happens. That's when all the excitement is. That's when all the withdrawals, all the contingencies are withdrawn. That's when people fight for houses. That's when you get the highest prices. I don't really, it's not that I don't care, but what the buyers are willing to pay has nothing to do with what a seller wants or needs. And yet realtors, in order to get the commission, are willing to put it on for that price. For what the seller wants or needs. Got nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with it. I'm not talking about a rookie realtor. I'm talking about one of the top 15 realtors in the town of Vienna. One of the top 15. I was disgusted. I looked at the builder and I said, your house is worth $2.35 million. That's the customary value for a house of this size and this age. Again, your home is a birthday cake. It's a wedding cake. It's not a layer cake. There's three kind of homes that builders build. There's a layer cake, NDI, Stanley Martin, just your basic house. There's a birthday cake. Bells and whistles, a lot nicer. Those are production houses, but they're very nice production houses. Those are birthday cakes. Then you have a wedding cake. A wedding cake is a custom builder that does everything, the finest materials, the finest stuff. They've got arches on their windows. They've got 8-foot windows instead of 6-foot windows or 7-foot windows. They use certain materials in their house. It's hand stained hard. That's a wedding cake. This builder built a wedding cake. So I said, well, $2.35 million is a standard customary price. Let's call that a birthday cake. Let's call that a middle of the road, good, really nice house, birthday cake. If it's a layer cake, it's not worth $235. It's basic stuff. It's $215. But if you're a wedding cake, which is what this builder built, now it's worth $2.5 to $2.6, maybe if we can get the right buyer and the right people in here, it's $2.65 max. That's how you arrive at the price. How did we arrive at that price? Well, a birthday cake or a customary value is $520 a square foot for a house of that size, that age, in that neighborhood, in that school district. $520 a square foot, period. That's it. That comes to $2.35 million. Fine. You got a wedding cake. Got it. Worth $150,000 to $200,000 more. Absolutely worth $200,000 more. So my estimate, it's going to go on the market at 2.5. We're going to sell it probably for 2.6 to 2.65. I'll keep you posted on that. It's coming on the market. It's nice. It's very nice. If anybody's looking for a house in that 2.5 to 2.6 range, this is it. It's coming. You can call me or Morgan or Billy or somebody, whoever you work with on my team. But I'm telling you, it's coming. My guess is not my guess. It will go off at 2.5. We'll probably get 2.6, 2.65. Now, here's the sad part. This is a great builder. He goes, well, now because I've carried it since April, now 2.5 is kind of a break even, man. I don't know if I can do 2.5. Would have been a great number, 2.6 back in April. Probably would have been 2.7 back in April. But prices have pulled down now. The expenses have gone up. So now it's a little tougher on these builders. I'm angry. I'm very angry that a realtor that should know better has cost this builder at least $200,000. At least $200,000 by incompetence, because they want the listing to accept the price that the seller's willing to do, and then they'll adjust it down a little bit. As a professional realtor, I'm disgusted. My head almost blew off my shoulders when I heard what happened. So we're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. We're going to get them on. We're going to get them at the right price. We're going to not have pictures that look horrible. We're going to have pictures that look great. We're going to get them as 265. We're going to get it to them very quickly. It'll come on the market within 10 days. So everybody keep your eyes open on my stuff. But it also told me there's other builders out there like this that are getting the same treatment, that 62% of the homes, the new homes, are withdrawn unsold. That's just wrong. That's just absolutely wrong. When a home goes on the market, it needs to sell in the first 7 days. I'm not even going to go back and say how many of these new homes sold in the first 7 days like they should. I'm not even going to look at that yet. I'll bet it's not 10%. So yes, we are going to be starting to help some builders. I'm just was unaware that they could get such horrible advice, and that 62% withdrawal rate blew me out of my chair. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Now, that's going to start happening with resales as well. When people put their houses on the market on resales, only 20% went under contract in the first 7 days. That means they are overpriced, underprepared, and they're going to sit and sit and sit a little longer. And then let's take a house that, and let me do a different price range. Let's take a house at 800,000. Let's say it should have been priced at 750. Okay. Well, you put on for 800, it sits. Well, the value of the house goes down as the time goes on. So now it's not 750 anymore. Now it's 725. You know what the realtor's going to do? They're going to drop the price to, they're going to go from 800 to 785. There is no new buyer pool at 785. None. When you move down in increments of 10, 15, $20,000, it's not enough. You're not in the next buyer pool. So what happens is, we call it the death spiral. The property values go down, or the value the buyer's willing to pay goes down. And you start putting that price down a little bit lower, but it's never enough. That's why if you're going to drop, you drop $50,000 to get to the next buyer pool. That's why you do a predictive analysis before you launch a house. If all of our houses go under contract in the first week, there's a reason for that, right? The predictive analysis tells us, do we have a buyer pool or do we not? So here's some messages from Coffee with Casey today. A, election good for the economy. Don't care about the politics. Election good for the economy, good for, in my opinion, inflation, interest rates. I think everybody's going to get on the same page. I think people are going to start, their consumer confidence is coming back. They will start moving. You'll start to see more money in motion. Good for everyone. Our listings are down here. They're creeping up a little bit, but I mean, it's still way down here. Look for those numbers to pop up. I produce them every month. So let's keep an eye on what the inventory is going to happen. You're going to see some shocking things over the next 2 or 3 months, even winter months. You're going to see some shocking new things happen over time. So let's watch and see how this plays out. But look for gas prices to drop below $3, in the foreseeable future. Look for interest rates to come down. Look for inflation to come down. Okay. Look for some stability where everybody's not anxious. Everybody was anxious on both sides. Now only one side's anxious. The other side is fairly comfortable. But that 50% of the people will get things rolling. Okay. That's the first one. The second one, massive time, massive opportunity for people to move up. I couldn't move up in the past. Can now. 62% of the new homes came off. That means those builders are more than flexible. Only 20% of the resale homes are going under contract the first weekend. Big opportunity for people to move up. If they don't get the price they want, my wife, she didn't see the on the air sign out there. Bless her heart. So anyways, when we see the opportunity that only 20% of the homes go under contract, that means that now we can go and buy what we want at a good price, sell what we have to, make it all contingent on the sale of that home, and like the one seller, make 50 on the sale and make 130 on the buy. Big opportunity to move up. Big opportunity to move up. If you know a seller that's trapped and not their home isn't going on the market as quickly as it should, have them give us a call. Now let me tell you who the most important person is that you guys need to think about. Listeners of my show. And then I got a big surprise for you here in a minute. So stick around. Your neighbors are very important. You know a neighbor that needs to sell. What their house sells for, if they put it on the market and they do it wrong and it goes into a death spiral and it sells for 100, 150,000 less than it should sell for, and that's what's happening, it's going to hurt you. If it sells for 100,000 more than it's supposed to sell for, or sell for an average of 85,000, it's going to help you. Your neighbor's sale is critical to the value of your home. It just is. So we need to make sure that if you know somebody that's in your neighborhood that's thinking about selling or has to withdraw, or the home's been sitting for a long time and you know them, say, you need to call Casey, have them put it on the market, have them sell it right away, have them sell it for $70,000 over list price, have them get the highest price we could possibly do. Or if you know somebody's thinking about doing it, have them do it, because a success, or another realtor, I don't care, Casey Samson Team, find somebody else that's really successful. I know we do it. I'm sure there's others. Make sure that they're not using a neighborhood person, a friend, a family. Not make sure, just recommend. Have them interview us. They don't have to use us, but interview. It's very important. What their home sells for is very important to the value of your home. And now for the surprise. I have people that come up to me all the time and go, hey, Casey, I like Coffee with Casey. I listen to it. Fine. And I appreciate you guys listening to it. So here's your reward. There's going to be a Christmas event in Vienna. It's in the Old Town section of the historic district, the Old Town section of Vienna on Church Street. Our office is in a very old building. It's been renovated by Tommy Stotts. Beautiful. And there is a Christmas spectacular extravaganza that you're going to start hearing about. I'm not publicizing it yet, but it's happening. And I am telling you, it is spectacular. You're going to want to be able to get in and walk around. Space is limited. We can't get a lot of, a ton of people through, but the kids, the family members that you get in, it's going to be really cool. We will have lines that are an hour or two for people to get in there. Unfortunately, we're going to have certain times where they can get tickets to get in, but I'm telling you, it's going to be hard to get in. If you're a listener of Casey Samson Team, if you're listening to my show, then you need to send me an email and say, get me in. And then what I'll do is I'll have an email list of these people and I'll send something out and say, I'm going to be over at the office at 1 o'clock on Tuesday or 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Bring your family and come on through. We'll turn on the whole show and your family have a private viewing where we can come in and I have my guests come in for certain times. That is going to be a huge reward, because I will tell you that a lot of people are going to want to get in and they're not going to be able to. It's really going to be hard, because really it only has a capacity of maybe 30 or 40 people at a time. And once you walk in, you're not coming out for 30 minutes. There's a lot of stuff in that. And the Vienna moms and the influencers and the Vienna foodies and all that stuff, they're all getting a hold of it and they're all starting to then start promoting it when you can get in line to see it. But my listeners are very special to me. I really appreciate you guys listening to Coffee with Casey. You're more than welcome to send me an email and say, Casey, can you please get me in? Yes, I will get you all in prior to an event or at a special time, but I'll make sure that you guys get in to see it. It's really what Tree and Morgan have done is It's a Christmas experience you're really not going to forget. And I don't know how many years they can do it because this is a massive effort. So, I think you need to see it when it gets up. So shoot me an email at casey@caseysamson.com. And that'll be my treat, my gift to you guys. You've been listening to Coffee with Casey. My name is Casey Samson. If you need me, I'm at 703-508-2535 or casey@caseysamson.com. If you're looking for a real special Christmas event, have them give a call. If you have a neighbor that's selling their house or thinking about it, they need to give us a call. It's important to the value of your home that I get them top dollar on the home they sell. We'll see you again next week on Coffee with Casey. Bye now.